This is your regular reminder that the story of the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah in Genesis 19 is not a lesson about the evils of homosexuality. It is a lesson about the evils of inhospitality. Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion, and the fit for today is Thundercats. Now, in the ancient world, they didn't have a concept of sexual orientation that at all approximates how we organize our understanding of sexuality today. They were primarily concerned with behaviors and acts, and they were concerned with a socially structured hierarchy of domination, where sexual agency always flowed downhill. And so it was considered inappropriate for a man to take a submissive position in a sexual act. In fact, it was even considered inappropriate for a man to be on the bottom during sex with his own wife, because that was considered a submissive sexual position. And so for one man to force another man into a subordinate, submissive sexual position was considered highly, highly inappropriate. That was the concern, and whoever was taking the receptive position in an act of male same-sex intercourse was usually considered to have been victimized, because they could not rationalize why someone would seek out that submissive sexual position. So what's going on in Genesis 19 is that the men of Sodom are threatening the visitors with sexual assault, and this is considered the height of inhospitality. This is not about sexual attraction, this is about power. And when we look in other parts of the Bible, we find absolutely no indication whatsoever that anyone understood this as about sexual attraction. It's certainly not how Ezekiel, in Ezekiel 16:49, describes the sin of Sodom. And no, Jude verse 7 is not an exception. That is reflecting on the Enochic narrative about angels descending to earth to have sexual intercourse with human women. And that's why it says, in like manner, the men of Sodom and Gomorrah sought out sarkos heteras, other flesh. This is a reference to the crossing of those boundaries between humanity and deity. This has nothing to do with sexual attraction to members of the same sex, because they had no framework for thinking about sexuality in that way that remotely approximates how we understand it. Folks who try to deploy this story as a lesson about the evils of homosexuality are entirely misunderstanding and misrepresenting the text, and are deploying it in a phenomenally harmful way.